Yo, man, I say this out of encouragement and out of nothing haterade because I don't encourage people to break up. I actually encourage them to work things out. But in this case, I did a video on this a couple months ago when Mowry was complaining publicly about her DMs being dry when somebody asked her how her dating life had been after she left her husband, Corey Hartwick. Oh, I might be saying his name wrong. I'm sorry, but she left her husband after 14 years and has been complaining about the difficulties of being a single divorced mom with two kids. And I'm like, oh, now you see what everyone's been telling you about. We've been trying to warn you. And a shout out to the females, the fans that have actually encouraged her to go work it out with her man, her ex, and aren't, with this whole misery loves company mindset. Oh, I'm single. I want all the girls to be single too. No, there's women out here who are in her position that know what it's like out here being a single woman up in age because she's not no spring chicken. I don't care how hot you are, a hot 44-year-old with two kids is not as appealing as a hot 25-year-old with no kids. That's just the facts of life. She thought the grass was green on the other side. And she's still complaining, as you see in this new TikTok video. She's sitting there drinking herself to death with wine, complaining about ghosting and love bombing and not having consistent emotional availability. I'm like, yeah, well, that sounds like someone who just got out of a marriage for 14 years. You had somebody that was there when you went on your ugly days, your good days, your bright days, accepted you, loved you. I'm not saying the guy was perfect. I don't even know this guy. But you had that and you walked away. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not saying being single is bad, but in this society, it's kind of scary. This is a wild dating pool. You got people putting sex, drugs in the clubs. You got people deceit. You got a lot of stuff out here, man. If you got a significant other, I always try to encourage my friends who are happy or got some kind of marriage. Hey, work it out. It's cheaper to keep her, and trust me, Hollywood. I know how hard it's getting for Hollywood right now with this writer's strike. She ain't been working lately. When the last time you seen her in something? Right, you better get home. Two incomes is better than one, baby. Y'all, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. She knows that it's time to turn around and go back home, but her ego, she got an ego, and she don't want to, she don't want to be humble. But it is what it is. Now she went on to complain and said, when an emotionally immature man thinks he can play you, but then goes low and you go lower. So she was joking. Some guy was messing with her, ghosted her. She complained about that. This is bad. And like I said, I don't think she's the only one having like dating remorse because I think Lala, she's kind of complained about it a little bit. How she can't really attract men of a certain age. And she's complained about it. Megan Good left the pastor. Next thing you know, she's with Jonathan Majors. It's all over the place. But you're making really life-changing decisions that affect everybody in your circle, but you're doing it based off emotion. Now, they got two kids. The son is 12, the daughter's 5. And this is what, last time she went viral and complained about being single and being lonely, she was talking about, oh, I felt like I needed to graduate. This was me graduating. I'm like, what? What are you graduating? You just took your kid's father away from them. Like, what are you talking about? She tells them, and this is her quotes, for them seeing their mother walk in truth. I feel like it's a great lesson for them because it's not an easy decision, and it was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make in my entire life. But if they see that mommy can do it, that mommy, no matter what people say, no matter what, even if some of the doubt, whatever mommy pushed through, my mommy is living and chasing the truth. I want my children to do this, that. That's the best gift I could give them. No, you're showing them what it's like to quit on a damn good marriage. That's what you're showing them. Just stop with all these bull quotes to try to make yourself feel better about what you're doing to them kids. Them kids probably miss their father and what they've known. So you've been together 14 years. So those kids, their whole lives, all they've known was to be with their parents in one household. You ruined that. And then she goes on and says, fun fact, I have never been on the dating scene my entire life. She wrote on Instagram back in August. So when I tell you I'm nervous and terrified of doing this whole dating thing, I mean it. Even though I'm in my 40s, I feel so inexperienced. But look, I give her credit for being honest. Somebody's got to give her a reality show because she's being real. She's one of these 40-something plus year old women that has got back out there and realized this shit is real. I got an uncle. He was married for like 30 years and then became single at like 60 and been out of the dating pool since like the late 80s. He had no idea what he was in for when he got out here in this single world. I'm telling you, stay home. She goes on and says she remains optimistic. And she says, if you're feeling apprehensive about new experience, just know you got this and we're in this together. Uh, some fans were telling her that just you need to work that out. And we tried to warn you. It's not worth it. Whatever feelings you thought I don't know what she thought she was gonna get out here, or who she thought wanted her. I don't know. Maybe she just let it get to her head. But she is having a hard time trying to get acceptance out here at 45 years of age, 2 kids, and you can't find a bad or negative story about her ex-husband if you tried, on online, unless they scrubbed it. And this is what she decided to do. But I respect her for being honest and just being real and saying, hey, it's been, maybe she's having regret, and she is. But is she gonna actually do the right thing and patch it up? Because yeah, this is kind of pathetic. Even though I do appreciate the honesty, because there's a lot of women that feel like there's a lot of people who go through this. You're like, man, they find out being single isn't always cracked up to be what you think it is. It's freedom there, but it's not always what you think. And she's starting to figure it out real soon. This shit is real. And some of the fans, some of the girls is going to encourage her to stay single, because they miserable too, and they ain't got nobody. They hug, they cuddling they pillow at night every night, so they feeling like, well, join the party. You always gonna have them, but hopefully they'll figure it out. But yeah, she has definitely realized that this shit is not green.